Welcome to another episode of Velocity Chaos!
Coming to you at the speed of sound, we are on the air at the Hexapod Sound House in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is Nick, and I am joined by my awesome co-host, Luke.
Hey. Thank you, Nick, for having me here today. How are you doing? Good. Glad to hear it. And I just want to introduce our DJ of the day, DJ DoorDash.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me out.
Of course. Nick, what do we got for today?
We got a beefy show today. We are going to do a based on a true story where Luke and I are going to pitch a movie off of the top of our heads to a major movie executive. Then we're going to roll into a deep dive session about one of our favorite IPs, Lord of the Rings. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with some party knowledge from Luke about Lucky Pennies. So check your pockets for the little jingle jangle. Just a reminder of our returning listeners and a note for our new friends. Here at the Velocity Chaos podcast, we explore the highest heights of human knowledge and the lowest depths of crude humor. Our mission is to tickle that pink thing between your ears, poke the frontal lobe, and sometimes just smash the laugh box. So hop on in, buckle up for an infotainment ride across the airwaves.
But before we get into all that, just a reminder to follow us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod and on Facebook as well. Also, drop us some stars on iTunes, leave a review, give us some love on the Spotify, give a rating, toss us a sub on the YouTubes where you can see us with your eyes if you so choose. Or if you just want to listen to us, that's fine. But we truly thank all of you for your support.
All right, Luke. Well, we are going to start incorporating this little warm-up at the top of our show. Quick word association provided to us by DJ DoorDash. So he's going to give us a word, 2 words, a set, 1 word and another word. That's 2 words, a pair, a couple, if you will, of a little, married couple of words. Partnership. He's going to give us 2 words, and we just got to, free associate from one to the other.
I like it.
All right? Hit us.
Alrighty, fellas. You're going to go from Oreos to quicksand.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to say the word.
Okay.
Oreos.
Cookies.
Milk.
White.
Snow.
Weather.
Rain.
Sun.
Desert.
Oasis. That wasn't good.
Danger. No, that doesn't.
No.
Oasis. Water.
Moist.
Danger.
Quicksand.
Can we veto you?
Man, I don't even. How did you get to quicksand? Moist. Sand. Moist.
Yeah.
How do you get out of moist? All right, we got it. That helped us. That helped us kick it up a little bit because we're going into a segment called Based on a True Story right out of the gate. This is a interesting segment where, based on a headline that I found, we are going to pitch a movie to. This is a really interesting production company.
Yeah.
Plated Up Productions, and it's run by the producer DoorDash. So essentially, I'll feed you the headline, and then we'll pitch it over.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna completely do this from scratch, guys out there listening, and so bear with us as we get a footing on the story, and then we'll pick it up from there. Okay, you ready?
I'm always ready.
Awesome. The headline is, a Massachusetts family thought they rescued a stray puppy. It turned out to be a coyote.
Whoo-wee. DJ producer DoorDash, how are you today?
I'm doing good, fellas. Hey man, let's get in this pitch because I got a dash.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we got right here on what we got. So, mind you, this family on vacation, the Robertsons, if you will, they're out there with their little Connie, and she's playing in the woods. That they're at their grandparents' cabin, and just out in the woods, and you hear. And Connie's off. She's not, she's looking for adventure in her life. She's not cool with being with the family. And she's looking at it, she's like, oh my God, it's a puppy. I found a puppy. And then doing what a little girl does, picks up the puppy and like, oh my God, it's nuzzling her and stuff. And she takes it back to the cabin. And her dad's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put that down.
I don't know. I think he should say something different.
Oh my God, that is adorable.
I don't know. No, I think he should say something different.
What you got there, Connie? And she said, Dad, I just found a puppy. And look.
And the dad is like, that is a puppy. And so, this family is just like, this puppy's covered in mud. This little dog is covered all head to foot, head to toe, head to paw in dirt and debris. So, they're sharing it with the rest of the family, Ma and Grandma and Grandpa. And, they just think this is the most adorable little puppy. And then they go and give it a bath. And that is when the grandpa is like, oh man, this is a coyote puppy. And he takes the dad aside. He's like, we're gonna have to get rid of this, right? And then the dad's like, well, Connie is kind of like this little isolated girl, like she's a little awkward, like maybe we should try to like just give her something that a friend essentially. And so he goes about kind of like trying to convince the grandpa that it is a real puppy for 10 pages or so.
Yeah.
It's a long monologue. But we try not to keep it too heady. Anyway, he convinces Grandpa, and that's when Connie and the little coyote begin their adventures. And the little coyote's name is Rico.
I don't know. We should name it something different.
His name is Boulder.
Nah, I think we should name it something different.
His name is Yodi, the coyote.
Should be something different.
His name is Wiley.
Should be something different.
All right, so this coyote's name is Peppy. And so Connie and Peppy start beginning their adventures that are all centered around her desire to win the campground talent show.
Yeah, so they have the talent show. It's the biggest like part of the summer is the talent show for all the everyone that's in the camp. And so Connie's this coyote is Peppy is he's taken to like instruction real quick from Connie, and she's like, okay, now come over here, roll over. And he rolls over and like, no, and then up on the leg. And then he like jumps up on the leg and like, wow, this like little puppy this is incredible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But sorry, I get really excited about this part. Okay. Yeah. But here's the thing. These are all things normal dogs do, right? So like she tries out for the preliminary round of the talent show and they actually cut her. And this is devastating to Connie, right? And she's like walking back and back to the cabin with Peppy, and he can tell she's sad. And she starts singing her favorite song. And it's like this really heartbreaking moment that we have with this little girl actress. And Peppy, the coyote, which coyotes are always out there singing and like they're howling and everything.
Yeah.
He starts singing along. So we are getting into talking dog movie territory here.
Yeah.
He can sing. That is the whole hook of our movie, that Peppy the coyote is a singing coyote. She's like totally stunned. The song turns into a happy song, and they are like beautiful melodies and harmonies, and it's like we turn into a full-blown coyote musical.
But here's the kicker. So as she's coming back, to this beautiful song, like it's like a sad song, but it's her own like song. Cut back to the dad and the grandpa in the cabin. On the radio, they hear about this, this beast that's been, killing these like deer and stuff, and then like some person got mauled.
Whoa.
And so now the main culprit they're thinking are coyotes. So now we're gonna have a case of a mistaken identity. So is this baby is this truly a baby coyote? Is this the offspring of what is causing all this terror among the campgrounds?
Yeah. So as they get back, like the dad and the grandpa shoo away Peppy, and they're trying to get rid of him, and he runs off scared and hurt and wounded, and Connie is like upset, so rightly so. She goes up to her room, she packs all her things in a bag, and she like escapes out the window and finds Peppy right on the fringe of the woods. And they go out into the woods and they find this beautiful cabin.
They should probably find something different.
They find a cave.
They should find something different.
They find a mystical treehouse that is like an old like designer treehouse. It's really cool. And so what happens is they decide to start working on a little musical show themselves, and just like they start singing about friends. They make other animal friends, and then there's like this really intense scene where like this thing, like all the animals scatter at the end of this really beautiful number, and then they all shoo away, and there's like this intense scene, and like Peppy and Connie hide, and I'm getting chills just thinking about it, because it's like this thing like is creepy. We don't know what it is. We don't even know what it is right now.
We don't even know. It's like, is it El Chupacabra? But they're thinking coyote just because they have to attribute it. So they're talking like, are we canceling the talent show?
Yeah.
Oh crap, where's Connie? And then so now they're getting the whole camp together. They're like, wait, our daughter is gone.
Yeah.
We don't know where. Now we have to find. They're kind of getting everyone. Everyone's got their lanterns. They're going out in the middle of the night searching for this girl.
Yeah.
And but they just kind of cut back and forth. Because they open up the bedroom and she's gone. And then kind of open up the door to the magical treehouse, and she's cowering. And this creature. So we got some pitchfork action, burning torches. Get the townsfolk, and they all start looking, and is the creature getting closer and closer to Connie and Peppy, and as they're kind of, it's like, who's the bigger monster in this? Is it
Parents?
The mob?
Yeah.
Is it the parents, or is it the actual creature?
And so they end up they get through the night, so it's like this intense scene, and everyone's still searching for Connie and Peppy. The next day, all the forest in the area has like been destroyed, and so Connie and Peppy, being like the cool little cats they are, they start helping all the little forest creatures like rebuild their little homes and their nests, and it's like another musical number. I forgot to mention that night before, like the mob is like this really serious musical number, and the being creature is like singing like in the distance. You kind of hear this huge bass voice, and it's really scary. And so they like are counter singing, and like so everything is like interwoven really nicely. Anyway, they help all the little critters in the forest. And it's just showing like Connie and Peppy's bond. That he's a smart guy and she's a very clever girl. And so the forest animals decide to like start helping them with their like routine of a number, almost like, or we're planting for payoff later. Like the birds are like the chorus, and the deer like help like decorate things by holding things with their antlers.
The deer should do something different.
The deer like are dancers. They're like ballet dancers. They like jump around, and it's like really pretty.
I think the deer should do something different.
The deer don't do shit. It's just we just get right to the beavers, like building cool things that are like they're fixing up the little tree house. Like the beavers are helping them. The rabbits are like tapping like wooden pegs in with their feet. Like it's like, dude, this is like
whole cool montage.
This is like if we took like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and just shoved it into a giant wrapper of a musical. Like that's what this is. Oh, that's what Snow White was. But if we recreated Snow White and got rid of the weird, pale woman, like that, and the weird little stumpy guys, like then this is what that movie would be.
So she's like doing all this and singing, and the mob, they hear all this commotion, like, oh my God, that girl has a beautiful voice. Yeah. And they find her like, oh my God, Connie. But then, so they kind of come in and they shoo away all the animals. They're, again, they kind of scare her away, or scare Peppy and stuff away. But they're like, oh my God, that was also so beautiful. And like Connie just wants that. She's like, yeah, I was just here. Me and Peppy were living our life, and I was just so sad about the talent show, and like, we'll do the talent show. And then, so they kind of just take her, and she's like, no, Peppy, and then they pull her away again, and it's like, yeah, you could sing. So then they get her back. They're all happy that she's found, and so they get her in the talent show. They have this one little kid, he's juggling or something.
He should be doing something
He's
different.
skipping rope by himself.
He should be doing
He's
something
doing
different.
a pogo stick.
He should really be doing something different.
So what he's doing, he's throwing flaming axes at someone with an apple on their head.
I don't know. I think he should be doing something different.
So he just figured out how to do a Rubik's Cube one-handed, blindfolded.
I don't know. He should do something different.
So he's a kid, and he's making mocktails. Flipping these bottles all around like.
That's a kid's show. He should probably do something different.
He literally just whips out his wiener, and just pisses right on the stage.
He's got to do something different.
Yeah, right. This is PG. This is PG.
kid.
You're right.
He's taking his mongoose bike, and he's riding it off like little ramp that he built up with a cinder block and a piece of plywood.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's currently the front runner. It's a pretty lame talent show, and so it's like, why didn't Connie get in the first place? But she does, and she's sad there because she's by herself. She doesn't have Peppy with her.
Yeah.
And so she starts singing her sad song, and in the distance you hear a ooh, and she perks up, and then she's singing her song, like improv song that she's doing, like starts changing it up. She starts getting happier. Peppy comes in. They're doing their dance number.
All the animals came with him,
yep.
and so like they're all doing cool stuff. The beavers bring in like a sign that they built and all this cool stuff. So. Yeah. So the animals come in. It's this big musical number that's amazing and really beautiful. And like the grandpappy is like totally moved.
Yep.
His whole perception of coyotes has changed, and they know, like, even if all the coyotes in the world are bad, this one is not. So, so Connie and Peppy, like, they win the talent show, and it's great.
Well, the thing is, so all the noise, the creature's still out there.
Yeah.
And he hears all that noise.
Yeah.
And he's coming, like, we get that kind of weird vision. We'll get
handheld through the woods,
handheld with the optic lens, maybe fish eyes, kind of like coming through. And
we want to project it like in two different eyeballs.
Yes.
Like if it was looking at it like two different eyeballs.
Yeah. So
two
we
fisheye lenses on the screen.
We hear all like the clapping and the singing, and the creature comes slowly. People start screaming, but the creature actually enjoys the music, which is why he originally went to the treehouse the first time.
Yeah.
But then when it stopped, then he got mad.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets slowly closer and closer. Connie stops, and he gets closer and closer. They're face to face. Peppy jumps in right in between them and tries to like growl, but then he howls, and then you can kind of see the creature like perks up for a second when he howls, and then Connie, with her beautiful voice, kind of starts. She's like, "Step in," and then it's like she starts singing, and then the creature kind of gets soothed in that moment.
Yeah. And so, like, the big twist we were rumbling around with is that like the creature is like an alien who landed in the area, and these acoustics are like soothing to it, and so it decides to just like kind of be like, wow, I found something beautiful on this planet. Like, I don't need to kill any more people. It never killed a person. It just maimed a bunch of wildlife. They're all cowering in the corner, but then they like find their courage because of Peppy and Connie, and they sing to the creature. And so he thought he was just surrounded by a bunch of little like delinquent creature, animals that he didn't understand. But they end up like making friends. We just completely forget that he murdered a bunch of bunnies at the beginning of the movie. And he gets in a spaceship and flies away. And the parents think that, wow, they really misjudged Peppy. He was the friend that they were hoping for Connie. And so they're just like, Peppy can stay with us forever, and it's going to be great. And Peppy, becomes a real dog, essentially, at the end of the film.
Yep. That's our heartwarming story for you.
So, yeah.
What are we calling this?
Well, we had a few.
Pepe Le Coyote?
Yeah.
Should be something different.
it is a musical. So we were thinking more Stomp the Yard.
I don't know. I think it should be something different.
Chomp the Yard.
Chomp the Yard.
Chomp the Yard.
It should be something different.
The Magic Treehouse.
I think it should be something different.
Campside Story.
I think it should be something different.
Harmonious Coyotes.
I like that one.
I like that one too.
Okay. Harmonious Coyotes is we'll put the script, this is the pitch. We'll put the script together. It's already together. Yeah. We'll send it over to your readers.
Played it up for
this
you.
afternoon. Yeah, we'll plate it up right away and put the whole deck together and send it over.
All right, fellas. I mean, I hate to dine and dash, but I gotta let you know I think this is a marketable film. I think we can sell this. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Harmonious Coyotes coming to a theater near you. Summer, 10 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
Development hell. Here we come.
So many genres.
So many genres. Peppy, you will live on in our hearts. And, hey, that movie makes a lot of sense. But you know what else makes a lot of dollars? The goods. That's right, the goods, the main ingredient in the stuff. You can now have the goods right at your very own fingertips without having to go through the stuff to get it. The goods are exactly what you'd expect them to be. High quality, refined, and never touched by human hands until they get to you. The goods have more beneficial properties per capita than any other known water-soluble powder known to anyone that knows anything about any who that lives just about anywhere. Get your hands on the goods today, and at checkout, remember to use code VCPOD25 for a free 25-day size travel pack of the goods. It's VCPOD25, so you can. That's VCPOD25, so you can get the goods in your hands today. This is not an actual product service idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there is something out there that has the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation and offer no judgment on the actual product service or idea.
Boom. That was an adventure.
That was lovely.
That was didn't know where we were going, but we got there.
Hell yeah. We got there, man.
So I wanna take us back to another adventure. One of the most well-known adventures.
This one is good.
This is a good adventure.
This is a good one.
Hey, Harmonious Coyotes.
Harmonious Coyotes.
I like that name though.
That is a good one.
That is a good name. Hey, it could be. Hey, I've seen worse.
It could be big.
Worse.
It could be really big.
It will be. It's gonna be animated.
It's gotta be huge.
So back on episode 27, we did a Lord of the Rings episode.
Yes,
entirely Lord of the Rings. We took some quizzes. We did some fun facts. We're not gonna do that. I listened back to that episode, so I was not a huge fan of the episode the way it went through.
We sucked.
It wasn't terrible, but it was. I thought it would go differently, but so this one I wanted to just get into Lord of the Rings and kind of some of the barriers that they broke through.
Yeah.
For the film world and a lot of CGI stuff.
Yeah.
I think they did a lot of stuff and just really reminisce about the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
movies.
So this segment deep dive is really just to go as deep as possible and just to break down the things we like about a topic or something that we know. I mean, these are topics that we're really familiar with. I've seen the extended cuts probably way too many times.
11 times.
Way too many times. I mean, if you calculate it, I've at least wasted a couple days, all together.
I go to you can ask my wife. Every night I'll just turn the next one on, and that's what we go to sleep to.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
I could imagine falling.
There's hope for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Not me.
If that's the bar to clear. Okay, what do you want to do first? This is
so
massive saga.
So I mean, we did the Fellowship the first time through. So I mean,
really?
we'll just hit I guess
Two Towers
and even Return of the King. I mean, we may revisit this again. But
I don't know.
We'll probably close it here.
Return of the King is like
maybe
at least
we'll see.
one 20-minute segment.
We at least won't say that we're going to do it more, so my wife doesn't say, "You said you were going to do more Lord." This is for my wife. This deep dive of Lord of the Rings is for my wife. Lord of the Rings Part 2 coming at you. So the big thing that Lord of the Rings did for movies was how they generated AI. That was something that was not done previously. Like they could do, I think Jar Jar Binks was the one prior that was, oh my God, you have this, CGI character that was motion captured. We'll get into Gollum Smeagol later, but like the big thing that Lord of the Rings did was there was someone, I'll have an article from CNET that developed a program called Massive, and it's like it basically is a game development software.
Yeah.
Where you can have individual units in production, and they can have different mannerisms, and they can interact in different ways and have different commands, and then put them on, this big, large scale. I don't know what you want to call it, map on this, and then they can make them look how they want, and they can have them interact in certain ways, or have them like it's a 10% chance it's going to do this, like 15% chance it's going to do this. When it's like, is it going to high slash? Is it going to low slash? And then you just have these different options, and then implement. You just get these random outcomes.
So infinite amounts of outcomes.
Yeah, and uniqueness. So it's not like, oh, you can see all the guys doing this.
That's it. You see that in video games,
Yeah.
right? Or like in the PlayStation 1, like the original Playstation.
Yeah,
like
that was back like mid-90s.
The back characters are all doing the same dance, and you're just like, okay. I couldn't imagine. I mean, Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, always seemed to be a sliver away from being completely hokey, completely chaotic and dumb.
Yes.
And that's what most people thought it was going to be. That's why it was so hard for Peter Jackson to get it funded and financed, is that he knew what he wanted, and he knew that the people around him knew what he meant.
Yeah.
But the financing people, they had seen like the Beatles animated version. They're just like, that's the best it's ever going to be.
That's the pinnacle of Lord of the Rings.
Like, that hippie shit. But I think it was really hard to overcome a lot of I think it was just like the double-edged sword of like the fantasy fandom of like, there's beautiful art, and the books, like my favorite are the books that came out before any of the movies that were just based on the text. So like the high detailed painting.
Yeah.
And there's like coffee table books of this stuff, and it's just gorgeous. So I think that was the perception of the slick Hollywood executives, and they were just like, that'll never make money.
That's because if you look at so many of the fantasy things before it, like Highlander and stuff, I mean, I guess that was some of that was like cheesy, but I thought that was a cool show.
Yeah.
But like,
oh, I thought you meant the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a show.
Highlander?
Yeah, I thought it was like a series.
It's both.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, but like I think,
but that's the old stuff is cheesy looking, so that's where they get the fantasy. Or like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Like anything that they tried to make into a movie was super cheesy.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do that fantasy in a serious tone like they did in Lord of the Rings and make it look good. Because even if you watch those now stuff that they put out, like you watch and it's like, man, that's just the quality is not good.
Hokey.
Yeah, hokey. That's a good word.
It's almost, you know how they talk about the uncanny valley, and this, I mean, we could talk about Smeagol in a second, but like the uncanny valley with like animated characters and with certain CGI processes, it's almost as if the rendering and the lighting and all the details and all the power that goes into rendering even like 3D maps now, it's like there's an uncanny valley for settings. Like you're seeing, I'm looking at the trailer of the new series that's coming out.
Yeah.
And that will be out maybe when this is released.
No, I said September 2nd.
Yeah. So this will be out before then. But the point is that you have these beautiful flying shots, but you're just kind of like, it's so glossy that you're kind of
Exactly. That's what we watched it before the episode, and it was just like, it's too much. It's what happened to The Hobbit. It's too much.
Some of it's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it will be cool. Like they'll like for sure, and what you can do with the movements and the shots is great. But when you're flying around the New Zealand mountains and you're getting those helicopter footages and you're blending in Helm's Deep with, a 7 foot, 8 foot tall model, blending it in with real environmental shots, you just it's tactile. The texture is there. And I think that's what happened with Massive. It was like the perfect confluence of events, because honestly, the only way that movie works is if you get the giant battle sequences.
And that's the coolest part. I mean, I didn't know that about them using basically a game generator to do that. And it's my buddy who's made me sit down and watch all the Lord of the Rings director's cuts one day, just all of them. Back to back to back.
Steel.
Shout out Steel. I mean, that's one of the biggest things he yells about is those fight sequences, or just like he'll sit down, he'll just zoom in and be like, because he'll be on his big TV and zoom in. He'll be like, look at these guys, they're doing something. Look at these guys, they're doing something.
That guy's picking his nose.
Yeah. And he'll click on another movie and be like, look at this horse shit. Like these guys are, like you said, this one guy's swinging an axe and that guy's swinging an axe.
Yeah.
But like,
Or they blur it.
Yeah.
They like the motion blurs.
Yeah.
So thick.
Before that, I think it was like James Cameron was one of like the first pioneers of like CGIing people, or like it wasn't fully there yet on like the Titanic. And it's like he still had to film. He would film people doing. He'd be like, all right, so this guy's gonna be dropping toilet paper, and this guy's gonna be blowing his nose. But they would film it and just digitize it. So I was like,
Yeah.
So you had to go to every individual person that you wanted CGI'd and have them actually do it, and then make it look worse than real. You know,
But
so
see,
like, this
that
is cool.
That was what was clever, is that Peter Jackson did that a couple times for like the medium shots of people on a soundstage in front of a blue screen doing things, and then pasted those in. And then behind them put in the massive characters. So he was smart to like put enough real stuff in front of you that the magic trick that was happening around it was blended in.
Yeah, blended it. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I think that was what really made it work.
And the thing that they did, I mean, alongside with this massive program, is that the models that they use, the scale models, they built actual size like Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith, or a certain amount of it. But then they also built like 1/7 or 1/8 size, like something smaller that they could take a camera and run it through, and then do the same shots in the bigger, and just blend them together. And then they would actually have like either CGI in characters or have actual characters that they would, scale down to whatever size of, whatever shot they're taking. So it was just...
That's the thing. People always get worried about, and now it's easier than ever to scale up because of the high resolution that you can get.
Yeah.
And but like it's so freaking obvious to use something and then scale it down, because that will just, you have to be careful with compressing it down, but like the quality will stay.
Yeah.
It'll just shrink, but you really just need the motion, really. Like you don't need all the details picked up. You just need the motion. But I think the coolest part was that, and I haven't really seen anybody do this as well since, being up above like Helm's Deep or being in the final battle. I don't want to talk about the Return of the King. We're only sticking. We're just sticking in the second one. You're way up high. You see all the stuff in the CGI and all the Urukai moving around and all that crap, and then people fighting. And then you cut down into Aragorn like actually fighting, and Vigo is like doing a stunt, and then Orlando Bloom is doing something. And it was so perfectly done, of like way up here, then down there, way up here, way down there. And when things happen, they you have the actor feel it, and then you cut it in.
Yeah.
Now what they try to do is they try to fly you down in, and it's fine, but the edit, the instantaneousness of an edit is what I think makes it work.
Yeah.
Because it keeps the ideas flowing rather than just these really long tracking shots. Like, yeah, you can do it, but it doesn't mean anything unless it's got a real mise en scène to it, a real purpose of where you're revealing information as you come down. I think a lot of these really CGI kind of shots are just glory shots for the artists.
Oh, they are.
Which we should give them credit, but if it's hurting the story or hurting the emotions that are happening, then it's not worth it. Because if you think about it, if you're doing a crane shot down in, it takes 3 seconds to get down there to make it look like decent. Otherwise, you're just like, but an edit is where the magic happens. Because if you hear the drums or you hear the trolls coming in, and then you go cut right to Aragorn's face, and it's just like, oh crap, we're like, you know what
motivation.
I mean? Like, yeah. So I think that is what was genius about it, is, and maybe we're really just getting down into it with Lord of the Rings, is that it was just a masterclass of scale.
Yeah.
That's really what it was.
Yeah. I mean, even if you go back to the first one with a lot of Hobbit scenes and Gandalf, like they're using forced perspective for a lot of stuff, and they built the sets, like 2 sets, one big, one little.
Yeah.
And then, or even on when they did the cart scene, like they did forced perspective where they had to build the cart at an angle so it looked like it was a normal cart.
Yeah.
But really,
Yeah, genius. I want to, just because we're on Helm's Deep, and I know we'll move on to Smeagol and all that, but remember, are you guys Game of Thrones people? You are.
I watched it, yeah.
I was pretty enthused.
Yeah, okay. Like
to the last.
That's like, the last season is what makes you gotta go.
Not super jacked, yeah.
I am just gonna say it. I always think about this, like the battle, the big battle at the end of the show. Remember, I don't even Winterfell or whatever.
Battle of Winterfell.
Battle of Winterfell. What all the White Walker? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought it was live spoiling.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
All right, next segment.
It was so hyped. I was a bit let down by it.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting something that hit me like Helm's Deep did. And then I can watch Helm's Deep now and feel it.
Still get the chills every time.
Yeah, but you're entertained and you're scared and you're interested. It's all that. And I almost have no desire to go back and watch the Battle of Winterfell because it just, you have all these people coming out there to bust their butts and to do this thing, and then you set it at nighttime and you can't see shit.
Why was it? The whole season was so dark. That's a chest hair.
Yeah. No, that is a 10-minute segment, but I'm just saying that how ballsy was it? Where it's just like, hey man, it could be easier if we just like really make this a dark set, and like we just use darkness to cover a lot of things. And Peter's like, I'm going to raise you. We're going to start at night and then go into the daytime, and then it's going to be all day.
Yeah.
And we're going to show everything.
I mean, shimmering moonlight with the rain.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So, yeah, man. Yeah. Like, and they had less technology. They did Hell's Deep.
That is the biggest thing, is they were proprietary users of this technology.
Yeah.
And they did it so much. These movies hold up. They did it so much better 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 20, 22, 23, 20, whatever.
Wow.
Than
that long.
Well, even Star Wars, though. The model flyovers.
Oh, man.
They look a certain way. You're kind of like, I get this. Like, I get 2001 A Space Odyssey. I get this. Those sets, like, they were rotating the freaking, you remember, like, in the space station? It's nuts. I just don't think you can, as amazing as technology is, and I love some of the stuff they're doing with the LED screen, environments. Like an Unreal Engine is starting to become more consumer friendly and prosumer friendly. It's great, but it hasn't cracked through yet, in my opinion, to the point where I'm like, give me that over Helm's Deep miniatures.
Yeah, practicals. Really.
I've seen guys do it with cars. I think I showed you a video one time. DJ DoorDash. Like, it was really cool. It was like they blew up a car. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They blew up the SUV model, or the guy who did the driving with the little model from Walmart, where he put it on the treadmill and just blacked it out, and then just was spray bottling mist in front of it, and it was just attached to a fishing line. And I was like, this is the coolest opening shot I've ever seen.
Doing it practically.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, man.
Your brain, dude, I saw a study one time. It was one of those, I get my like Discovery Channel, History Channel dives, and it's like, they said the human brain, like CGI will almost never catch up, because the human brain, the one thing it can discern from is what looks real. Like it, because like faces specifically, like talking about battles and stuff like that. But and that's where it's like what Nick was talking about, how it's like the way they integrated every element instead of just relying on the trick and being like, oh, here's this big swooping sexy shot with a bunch of cool CGI, as opposed to like, no, we're gonna play mind games and trick you out of it and cut to real things. It's like a music video. It's like you're in and out of it so fast. So it's cool.
I like that. I would like to see that.
Like you said, a lot of these are, look what I can do. It's like all this CGI, and like you said, they're paying people a lot of money. Or it's like, I don't want to do the pre-production work to actually make this. We'll fix it in post.
The problem is the economics.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to do CGI.
Yep.
And that's what happened with The Hobbit. not to digress too far into that, but Peter Jackson was so up against it. Mm-hmm. And I've heard friends of mine who know better than I, that they read about it, that he just was so squeezed out, and he had to just kind of compromise, and it was great because CGI in Peter Jackson's hand is still better than a lot of things, but it wasn't that same thing. And I think, Luke, I know you're more of a proponent for the originals, probably because of the physical stuff, but there are not a lot of executives out there who are like, just build it, just do it. And the funny thing is, though, is that Lord of the Rings has made so much
It was
money,
a massive success.
but
like, how
not just then, now.
Yeah.
How many box sets?
I've got 4 of them myself.
Yeah, 4 distinct box sets.
Yes.
Not 4 copies of the one movie, like the distinct box sets. So and I'm sure they draw a lot to HBO Max, and if they go other places, I'm sure it's a pretty penny to get those licenses. So they're evergreen titles. They're PG-13, so like they can run on FX. Like, you're making money hand over fist off of that. Yeah, and tenfold of what you put into it. Yeah,
that's and then so I mean in the second movie, we were introduced to the true character of Smeagol and Gollum.
Yeah,
and like I was saying before, the motion capture that they did, originally they were just going to have Andy Serkis come in, do some voice acting, and maybe some motion capture.
Yeah.
But then they were like, oh my God, this guy's putting in his heart and soul into this in these takes. We got to figure out a way to motion capture his face as well.
Yeah.
And so then like they already had done like 6 months of shooting with him.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no, we want to get you in this. We want your essence to not just be the body and voice. We want the face as well to kind of to mimic. So like he got thrown in there, but it looks so good for for something that you could probably some kid could do now with Blender and DaVinci Resolve, like make something comparable. But 20 years ago, when the technology was still new, it's like just to do it so well. Like I said, I think the only other time before that was Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
To where it like integrated.
Well, that's what's so funny though, because I just looked it up. They did it with him, and it helped that he was so disfigured.
Yeah.
And it helped that Andy Serkis is kind of a bug-eyed creeper. But then they went and did Beowulf, like after they did Beowulf 4 years later, which was the Robert Zemeckis movie, and it looks like crap. Like their faces look scary.
It's so bad.
Every once in a while, I'll watch the movie just because I'm just like, wow, this is the guy who brought us back to the future. Everyone can have mistakes, but it was amazing how much effort that they did put in to Gollum. It's funny that Benedict Cumberbatch kind of homaged that when he played a Smaug, because he was like down on the ground. You ever see those videos of him in the mocap shoot? And he's just like wiggling around, and you're like, all right. This is getting weird.
I wanted the voice.
yeah. They're like not even recording. Yeah. They're just the guys over there like just eating a sandwich. Like, are you recording this? Are you recording this?
Sounded pretty good. We can do it again if you want. I got a tea time at 5:15.
Smaug made that movie.
That was
just because he was so cool. But anyhow, Smeagol, man, dude, when I was a kid, that character, even when I read the books for the first time, it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And then watching the movies, I couldn't really watch them when I was really young.
Demented
because of him.
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying, not just because of his look and everything, but just because of who he was as a character. So Andy Serkis, I mean, controversy over him never getting nominated for that,
right?
Especially in the final one, where he really puts in the work. But we're not talking about that one.
To just go from talk about Andy Serkis for a second is to go from I'm gonna do some voice acting for this Lord of the Rings movie, and then I'll probably be on there for 6-9 months to doing that, to using your full body, and then to becoming co-director of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the B unit director. Like to just think that
gosh.
that's how involved he got just from that one gig. Like,
well, but then he recreated Planet of the Apes. Like
Yeah.
he played Caesar in Planet of the Apes, and it's funny like to make a career out of mocap stuff. But Toby Kebbell did that too, where he does a lot of mocap. He played King Kong, and he was in King Kong Skull Island as a person and as King Kong. I was like, that's badass. Fighting yourself. But then I mean, he directed Venom now, Andy Serkis. So like, I mean, he's just. I don't think he's a great filmmaker, but man, legendary performer. Everybody in that movie, everybody in all those three, like the whole fellowship, it's just
so good.
The perfect casting of everybody.
Yeah. I can't imagine like just if someone else was cast.
Well, they talk about that Aragorn conflict. Do you ever hear about that? What was that guy's name? See, that's the problem. That's the poor guy.
They already started shooting with him. Like, shit, he's young.
Yeah.
Too young. Sorry, guy.
I've seen those pictures. A lot of people felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson was pretty torn up, I think, about it.
Yeah, because he was probably pre-production with this guy running lines and stuff and practicing like for months.
It's the same thing with Back to the Future. Could you imagine being that close, being on set for a couple days, losing the job, and then becoming an iconic movie? I mean, you would have a right to be an alcoholic. That'd be your right.
But you wonder, like, if that other person is in there, does it take away from the rest? Like, it's like,
oh, I'm not saying like they deserved it. I'm just saying that it's such a rough place to be.
Yeah. But I'm saying
it's also hard for the director.
Yeah, if another person does go in there and then the movie turns out to not be a success.
Oh, you're saying like, what if Viggo Mortensen was just terrible?
Well, no, I'm like, what if the other guy and it was just terrible? Like, then the movies never came to be what they are because that guy
it's stuck with the guy.
Yeah, like I like the movies, but I just couldn't get behind that Aragorn.
Yeah,
like
I've seen it, man. It is such a gamble because you're like you have a contract with that person.
Yeah,
and you're breaking the contract.
You just got to pay them and then get whoever that works. I think
it's kind of like a bad draft pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
you deal with it for the 2 years.
Yeah. But you got to get out as fast as possible.
I had a couple more things. I know we're running long on this, but I could talk about this for days. But we're talking about characters playing characters that you don't really get to see, and
Stuart Townsend was the guy.
Oh, right, that's what it is.
Stuart Townsend, yeah.
John Rhys Davies.
Oh man,
he was Gimli, but he wasn't Gimli.
Yeah,
Brett Beatty was Gimli.
Brett Beatty.
He did 90% of the stuff.
A New Zealander native, right?
Yeah, I believe. I remember this was over the summer, over the winter. Like I read this interview with him. Yeah, most humble guy ever. Yeah. Like, but just what he put his body through, like blowing out his knees and stuff, and all the getting impaled and just.
He's the guy. I'm pretty confident about this. You know how all the Fellowship got tattoos in Elven 1 through 11, right?
I think they got the ring or something.
No, they got the Elven rune for their number.
Oh, okay.
1 through the Fellowship. Is it 11 in the Fellowship, right?
9.
9. He got one. You knew this?
Yeah.
Oh man. So have you heard the story? So the guy who did all the stunt work, he was like really close, and like the cast was very close with him.
Right.
And all like Elijah Wood and Viggo Mortensen, all down the line, right? They all got an Elven rune for like a number on them, 1 through 9, as like a camaraderie thing. And they took him to get a tattoo because he was so involved with everything, and they were really close with him. And he was like this local guy. He wasn't famous. He wasn't anybody. He just was there in New Zealand, fit the stature of Gimli, and played him. So
that's insane.
Yeah, one of the stunt actors.
Yeah. So, and apparently they still keep in touch with him a little bit.
I was gonna say that's one of those moments like you're chilling, having a beer with your buds, and you're like, it comes up on the TV, you're like, man, these guys doing Lord of the Rings, and he's just like, yeah, man, like those are my homies.
They're cool.
Like, shut up, Jerry.
Look at that Viggo Mortensen guy.
And then he gets a text from him at night, and he's just like, you show you. I know those guys. You tell him.
He
got the picture by his bed.
I think he was involved in The Hobbit a little bit,
Well,
So
yeah, I
it's
think
kinda-
I heard that.
But what a cool story.
But yeah, it's all the stuff that the injuries that went on that, and then
Vigo.
Vigo breaks his foot, kicking the helmet,
Yeah.
and then Orlando Bloom fell off a horse and like broke some ribs and stuff. And then like the Brett Beatty, like I say, blew out his knees. He's wearing like 90-pound armor,
gosh.
and then they had to do those like 3 days of running. And they just they all just put up with it.
Yeah.
That's like
It was grueling, but they got into character. Vigo talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Where he just like was in it, like grueling. The funny thing about John Rhys Davies, you mentioned, he has milked that role. Like, he has gotten so many trash parts. Not like he's one of those guys you call like Eric Roberts, who's like, how much for a day? Like, we'll get Gimli in our movie. Like, and he was great. He was legendary. He's a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
But in his older age, like, he just milked it from the Lord of the Rings shit.
Yeah.
But
hey,
man,
why not?
Why not? I would have if I was in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, oh God, this is so there's good like. And we're getting all this information. I mean, yeah, we've read some articles, but a lot of it's just watching like the behind the scenes stuff. So I mean, that's a recommendation right there. If you like Lord of the Rings, watch all the behind the scenes. There's hours of that stuff.
Did you ever see? Oh man, we're not talking about the last movie, so
not yet. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll probably do one in the future, but we're not setting it in stone, Michelle. Okay.
We
Don't
may or may
hold us
not.
to yeah.
Potentially, maybe, possibly do it.
I just want to hit on a couple quotes really before. I know. We're already a half hour into this segment. But potatoes, that was just iconic line.
Yeah.
And then the other day I was thinking, the courtesy of your hall has somewhat lessened of late. That's just a really nice way of saying it's not as nice in here as it used to be.
A little dusty around here.
Somewhat lessened of late.
Oh my
using
gosh.
that.
Yeah, that's amazing. We could probably do a whole segment on just the quotes. Mary and Pippin were my favorite, but I can't think of anything offhand.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. There's so many good. The scripts were brilliant.
And then Fran, I forgot her name, but Fran
Jackson.
it was okay.
Or whatever she was.
Yeah, whatever. But she did a lot of the lines that weren't actually in the book, and she made them like a J.R.R. Tolkien line.
Wow.
And she did like a good what would you call like a stand-in writer?
Yeah.
Like to make it seem like
a
it
ghost
was
writer.
like
yeah.
the wizard is never late or nor is he early.
Yeah.
That's her line.
Wow, I believe it. She's really great storyteller. She's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, Peter Jackson wouldn't be Peter Jackson without her.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
That's what I got. I don't know you got anything else?
No, man, I keep spinning.
DJ DoorDash.
This is all your world, fellas.
At least you saw him.
You nerds.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And you know what else makes sense? Scented scent sticks. That's right. Scented scent sticks allow you to breathe the fresh air that you've been missing. If you want to, some of our scents are available to you, our fresh air and other scents like that. So if you want to breathe the fresh air and not spend a lot of cents on great scents, buy scented scent sticks. It just makes a lot of sense for you, a lot of sense for us when you spend your cents on scented scent sticks. I swear, we have a whole load of fresh scents that are new, mainly fresh air though, because we're working on more scents every day and every second. So, but for right now, get your fresh air scented scent sticks today. At checkout, it would make a lot of sense if you've used code VCPOD60 for 60 cents off each scented scent stick at checkout. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation with the actual product, service, or idea. That is it. So I wanted to read that ad of scented scent sticks right before this party knowledge that I'm about to drop on you.
Party knowledge.
Lucky Pennies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. May 23rd, National Lucky Penny Day here in the U.S.
Wow.
Yes. So saying goes, find a penny, pick it up, and all day long, you'll have good luck. Where did it come from? You wonder, is what you're asking. Yeah, I see it in your eyes.
Jackpot winners.
Exactly. Jackpot winners.
Bankers.
Indeed.
Misers.
See, I thought there would have been a lot more like deep stuff to this one.
Oh God, this is one of those things that you've heard. And you're just like, that's dumb.
No, I thought it was gonna be like, yes, back in the Roman times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like some kid was like kicking around, like this poor kid was like, "Oh, Penny, I'm a lucky kid."
So
that's it.
kind of.
We're all getting freaking poisoned because we're picking up crap pennies off the ground.
Copper
Because
pennies.
of some stupid kid.
So a long time ago, so many ancient people believed that metals were gifts from the gods. This included copper that was used to make pennies. They thought that these metals were given to them by the gods for their protection. So if you found a metal, you should pick it up because since it would protect you and bring you good luck. So that was the original thing that I could not find the origin about that.
No. I get it because it's more of is a common held belief rather than just like a specific story, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I get it now. I'm taking back my statement about it being dumb because we take it for granted now. There's tons of crap on the ground all over the place, and back then there was very rare that you would find anything of value ever because most people were poor.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but the idea,
like, oh, nice.
like metal, like, or even anything forged or even a piece of something, you'd be like, whoa, I could take that back and melt it down and smelt it and have a sweet knife or something. But like now it's like, there's garbage everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
pennies
right.
now. You're just like, fuck that.
yeah. I don't need this.
So, yeah, some believe that any penny found will bring good luck, while others believe that only a penny lying face up should be picked up. Have you guys heard that?
Yeah, where do you fall on that?
I don't pick them up. I leave it for someone else.
See, I'm always a call. Like when you flip a coin, I'm gonna grab the tails kind of guy. I'm like, it's tails.
Oh, you like the tails?
I'm reverse. Yeah.
He likes tail.
He likes the tail.
You know it.
Not into heads.
So giving them.
Yeah. So, yeah, but what about you?
No, I don't like to give it either.
No, flipping the heads. Or do you if you see it tails, are you flipping it over for the next person, or do you only pick it up if it's heads?
What, do you get points for flipping it over? I didn't know.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Just flip it for yourself.
Oh,
Like,
really?
look,
Yeah.
it's heads
If you
now.
don't, you get 12 years bad luck.
So no, it's because people thought it's heads represents good, tails represents evil.
Oh.
Left hand, right. That's kind of the dichotomy based. Yeah, you get the evil left-handed people.
yeah. Too many of them out there.
Yeah. So you get the two sides of the coin. So people thought the evil side was unlucky.
Got it.
And then those who ascribe to the belief often flip it over to tails penny so that the next person who finds it has heads. That's what I've heard.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't pick them up. I feel like I'm lucky as is. So I just leave the luck for the next person either way.
Have you looked around? I'm just kidding.
Hey, ignorance is bliss.
Okay, there you go. I don't, man, I'm very inconsistent with my penny pickups.
See,
Maybe you got to
picking
start.
up everyone I see, man. I could pin one from across the room. Like, there's Penny over there. Like, I'll just
bothering
pull my mic down. Like,
It's bothering me. You ever had this? I had this idea about luck. Like everyone has a reservoir of luck when they're born, and they do things to increase it or decrease it naturally over time. And like all the superstitions, like what if all the superstitions were true, right?
Karma.
How many times? Well, karma is more about good deeds. I thought
It's lucky.
No, I think it's about actively doing stuff or not doing stuff. I'm talking about like luck. Like maybe you're right. I don't know. But the idea of just like if you could, like, I'm not consistent with my luck building. So is that like why I'm kind of where I'm at, right? You know what I'm saying? Like what if you just really focus on hitting all your superstitions and like and does that build up your luck capacity?
It could.
You know, like that's what I think is kind of interesting.
Start journaling.
Because if you pick up a penny, I don't think you're boosting karma there, but you could be boosting your luck.
Could be boosting your luck reservoir.
this is my belief in it. Is that I mean I was a goalie, coming up playing hockey for a number of years, and if anybody knows anything about goalies, they tend to be superstitious. And my brother used to say, "I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious." But we all had rituals. I mean, even when I first started, my brother would tell me, he's like, "Yeah, you gotta have something."
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think about it until like one day I was like, I was done from playing competitive hockey, and I was like, he always told me, he's like, "Oh, you got to do something first or always do something second." And it's like, I always put my left leg pad on before the other one.
Yeah.
And then like over the years, I always had certain taps. Like I'd always tap the net before I'd go out. Like a certain sequence every time. And my belief was, I was like, if I got angry, like if I somebody messed up my rituals, then that's where it would go wrong because rituals aren't meant you
Yeah.
can't use rituals in anger. So but if you do your rituals like and holistically and you're calm with them, then it's like all right. Like you say, you build up your luck reservoir. But once you start, I started getting cranky if somebody messed up my ritual. Then it's like no, that's not what your ritual's for.
No,
you get bad luck. That was my belief, but
a lot of athletes.
No, I mean rituals are interesting because they do actually, I think, tie your mind to something. So I think rituals are kind of like anchor points for your psyche.
Get you in the zone.
Going back to pennies.
Yeah. So the name Penny, I know you were wondering where did that come from.
Wait, really quick. Can I have an anecdote? I have an anecdote.
Away from pennies.
The thing that changed me really about picking up change was a story my cousin told me. He was working in New York City, like in finance or something. And one time he got on an elevator with Warren Buffett. One time. And
or someone that looked like him.
Yeah, someone that looked like him. I love it. All right, I don't need to finish the story now. No, let's just say it's Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, one of the best investors of all time. And there was a dime on the floor. And Warren Buffett, this guy whose seconds are literally worth thousands, if not millions of dollars, bends over and picks up the dime. And he's like, that is a cool lesson of just saying, I mean, Warren Buffett's first rule of wealth is like, don't lose money. And rule number 2 is if you're losing money, see rule number 1. So I think it's so built in his philosophy just to pick it up. And I think that philosophy might be kind of cool, that if you see a penny, you feel lucky, you feel grateful for what you have, and that's kind of surrounded by the penny, then I think it's kind of a cool idea to pick it up and feel like, oh, I am lucky.
He probably would have left a penny, though. Dimes, like, okay, that's 10 pennies. I'll take that. That's making a difference.
He's doing math. All right, pick it up.
I'll invest in this dime.
He's calculating the calories it would take to bend over to pick that, or if he pulls his back, how much the bill would cost the doctor. It's just like, man, these odds are, all right, 10 cents. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah. I bet you Warren Buffett in that elevator dropped that dime ahead of time on purpose. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna mess up somebody's perspective of me forever. Just punking your cousin.
That's why it was just some guy that looked like him.
And that's why it wasn't a penny, it was a dime.
He's the janitor. The janitor.
Or he was testing the guy or your cousin.
Yeah, if my cousin could have had a job at.
He could have, if he went to pick it up, the guy, Warren Buffett, was like, that's mine.
He just held that as, give it to me.
Give it to me. Don't you have like a billion?
Don't you have many billion? Many millions of these?
Warren Buffett's just got a house entirely full of dimes.
So back to the party knowledge of lucky pennies. I just want to get into the name of the penny. Penny may have come from a few things. It may have been derived from the word pawn, meaning pledge or debt. It may have come from West Germanic word for frying pan because of its shape. It may have derived from the Latin word pondus, meaning pound. Pondus. The penny.
They had plate pennies back then. Here you go, man.
They used to be bigger. They did.
You want your change? Nah, keep the change.
Keep that.
Keep the pondus.
I left my my knapsack back at the house.
Got nowhere to put it. It's gonna fit in my sock.
Imagine those pockets. Just like got a penny pocket. It's just like covering both ass cheeks. Just like.
The penny is based on the Carolingian denarius, a silver coin that was the main currency in Europe for centuries. Today, various countries use a penny, which is usually the smallest denomination of currency. Penny is an informal name for the coin in some countries, such as United States and Ireland, and it's the formal name for a coin in Britain. So that's where I was like, it's the formal name in Britain. So did this start in Britain, like long ago? But I could not find anything other than what I found. So in the United States, the formal name for the coin is the 1 cent coin.
I was going to say, how dumb is that?
Yeah. Why not just call it, can we officially name it the penny when we're space lords?
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll have space pennies.
Yeah. So that was...
Got to rocket over to that asteroid and pick up that dime I see.
Yeah. I mean, I have some other information, but we're running long already. Yeah. But did you guys have any other, just real quick, any other good luck symbols? Like
good luck charms?
Yeah.
I have socks.
Socks.
I have a sock with an astronaut on it and an American flag on the other one, and I always wear the American flag on my right foot.
Right. Starting off on the right foot.
Big meetings. When those wear out, I wonder what I'm going to do. I wouldn't know where to find another pair like that. They're super comfortable.
Internet.
So, big business.
eBay. Craigslist.
Big business meetings. I put them on.
Nice. You got your lucky rabbit's foot?
I don't like
You don't like rabbit's foot?
It's a little,
4-leaf clover?
little arcane and excessive.
You ever find a 4-leaf clover?
No.
I found a 5-leaf clover.
Whoa.
Exactly.
That means you're cursed for
That's probably.
Yeah. The backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you got dream catchers, horseshoes,
No.
acorns,
No.
alligator teeth.
I'd take those.
Yeah. In Africa, some tribes believe that alligator teeth will grant them luck expressly whilst they are gambling. This amulet can be carried forward into modern day with surfers from California wearing them for protection.
Okay.
Did you say horseshoes already?
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. Like the shark comes up to bite a surfer and he like pulls off his thing, starts his necklace and starts whipping it.
We get prehistoric on your ass.
Gator versus shark. History Channel original.
Yeah. Who'd win?
What shark?
Talking bull shark, maybe something like aggressive versus like a
big gator?
big gator.
I
I don't know. Or great whites. I don't know. I feel like the gator might have the edge on maneuverability.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're a little more. They can wrap almost all the way around.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
that note.
That's a lot. Yeah. Perfect segue.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
So we're getting into our segment called Aussie News. It's our favorite segment because it's on every show. We got to do it. And this is a segment about heroes and about your mates. Your mates being sheep and the heroes being firefighters that get them off a roof.
Oh, our last episode.
This is also about more firefighters.
Oh my God, they're so sexy.
So sexy. So sweaty. So wonderful. West Yorkshire firefighters called to rescue sheep from a rooftop. Yeah, in Aussie News, we get an article and just want to make sure we check in with our brothers and sisters down in Australia. So this is hysterical. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures. There's literally just like 5 sheep up on a roof. Like, how does like this country, man? I love this. I want to just go there and be there because things happen there that I don't think happen anywhere else in the world. Really what it was, this house was like by kind of like a hill or some sort of cliff, and the sheep just got spooked and jumped the gap and ended up on this roof. And they're too stupid to get off, like to jump back to from where they came from. And so there's 5 sheep up on the roof. And imagine that call, like, "Hey, my pet is up on the roof." "Oh, cat, yeah, we'll be over. We'll help you down." "No, it's Fluffy, my sheep." "What?"
What are you doing up there?
Damn.
Just imagine like a bunch of distracted Australian neighbors. Like one dude's fixing his truck and his other buddy comes up. "Oh, Jerry, get out from underneath your lorry and get your sheep off the roof. They've been up there for an hour and a half, mate." "No one's getting a suntan. He's looking orange. Turned into a kangaroo."
They just have this. I'm looking at this
better,
picture.
better at it.
They're just looking like, yeah, we're fucked.
Don't look at me. It was his idea. The West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service tweeted, "Phew," like yours. "That was a close shave. Our tech rescue officer specialist animal husbandry training came in handy when he rescued these sheep from a roof that they leapt onto from a neighboring field." Like what is? I can't understand the geography of this at all. Like, you just have your house by an elevated field, like somehow close enough that these sheep with their stubby little legs could make the gap. I mean,
I've seen a sheep leap before.
it must have been like a Peppy the Coyote was out there. Anyway, the thing that cracked me up about this is that the tech rescue officer like had some sort of animal husbandry training. that he was able to apply here. So like, is he coaxing the sheep off with like sense of female sheep? Like,
Maybe.
hey guys, come on over here. Like they're like, yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, that's why they're up there. It's like, not gonna buy that wacko, mate. That's bonkers.
It's a right out sheep fuck over there. So they built him a bridge from the house to the roof, and the sheep were just like, oh, cool, get off. So I don't know, man. There's not much more to it.
Yeah, so actually, yesterday,
Pictures of the sheep are so artful. Yeah. The sheep's just like up there, just like, what up?
We're here now.
That one's looking at the other one like, boy, we really bugged this one, didn't we?
I like that. We're here now.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
No, so yesterday, or was it today? I don't know. No, it was yesterday. I was outside this building, and I hear this goose going, huh? Or, yeah, it's a goose. And I hear another, huh? And I look over, and then I just see over the top of the rooftop is this goose head sticking up. Huh? I'm like, what is he honking at? He's like, he can fly away if he wants. And I look down on the street. There's another goose walking on the street. Huh? Like he's like looking around, like, where the hell is Jerry?
Marco Polo.
Hey, you want to be friends?
It was just like a beautiful moment of life.
Just these two geese talking like, get down here right now.
You know you could both fly.
Yeah. I don't wanna.
I mean, that just shows you in life when you get stuck in a crummy situation, you have to wonder who are you with, and it's 4 of your other buddies, and you all got into this situation together, and you have to know that when you are together, you can overcome any adventure. You can walk hundreds of, if not tens of miles across stinking marshes as far as the eye can see. And beyond that, it gets even better. The very air you breathe is poisonous fumes. And so if you're not with your friends doing it day by day, keeping each other accountable, keeping each other in check, keeping the lift beneath the wings when you're goosing around, or maybe you just gotta sing every once in a while and make new friends on this wonderful planet when you're going camping out in the world. Because coyotes, are they really ugly? I don't think so. They're harmonious coyotes, having a good time, singing show tunes, and just when you think that they're going to be CGI, they're real on the inside, just like we're real. And it's a wonderful world that we're living in. Okay, woo. Let's pull into the recommendation station. I got a multi-layered recommendation for you guys.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not. So this is what I did. The song "Sultans of Swing"?
Yeah.
Dire Straits. It's like that's a song that like I hear it on the radio. I'm leaving it to listen to this. It's like one of my favorite songs. Mark Knopfler, I believe, is the guitarist. It's like Knoplf.
Yeah.
He's ranked 8th best guitarist ever.
Oh wow.
Because I was like, man, I just love the guitar in this. I'm like, he's got to have other stuff, or like there's got to be more to Dire Straits, and the only song I've heard is Sultans of Swing. So I'm like, well, what I'm gonna find an album or greatest hits, and I'm gonna listen to all of them. Just listen through. I'm not gonna skip anything if I don't like it. Just gonna listen through. So I did that, and I guess they do Walk of Life. I didn't realize that.
Huh.
Walk of Life. Here comes Johnny singing like that
okay.
song. I didn't realize they did that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was like, oh, damn, they did some of these other songs are cool. Like Lady Writer was cool. Espresso Love was cool. Like these are songs that I've never heard of, and they did a lot of songs that sounded like they'd be great for 80s movies.
Nice.
But I can understand why they didn't have like a big commercial success. Like maybe they do and I just don't realize it. But yeah, like some of the songs I guess fell short in a way. Like they weren't as like marketable, but they're still good songs. And I did fall upon, I don't know if I want to call it a song, but more of an experience. It's like a 14-minute song called Telegraph Road. I truly recommend an experience. Like if you got 15 minutes, like this is in time including searching Telegraph Road Dire Straits and then clicking on it. Like if you have time and you just want to like go through a ride, like listen to Telegraph Road.
Okay.
On the way home, if you guys want to, but
I'm down.
So my recommendation is not listen to Dire Straits. If you want to come along with that ride with me, listen to Dire Straits, but find a band that you think has a one-hit wonder that you really like Jimmy Eat World, whatever, like in the middle, I think. Yeah. Like do them, like find an album of theirs and listen to it, or
Hillary Duff.
Yeah, or Hillary Duff. You listen to Hillary Duff's Greatest Hits or something like. Just find one band that you think they're one-hit wonders and listen to like their greatest hits or an album. Just pick one and listen through it, just to see what that artist really is.
So you're talking about like a band like Queen or like a band like the Beatles?
Yeah, like some of those guys. Like they did like
Journey.
We Will Rock You. Or
yeah,
I think
I've heard a song of Journeys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, pick.
No, I get
someone.
you. I like that. You never know what you're gonna find when you dig around and get in that treasure trove. Well, this is an exciting segment. We got to return to some things that we really love, and we got to explore some new things and talk about those. So exciting to keep going. Episode 54. I just want to thank DJ DoorDash for being here and just holding us down, man. You're really making it happen and really getting us through these. So thank you.
Hey, man, thanks for looping me in all these episodes, fellas.
Sure.
This was a good one. Next time we'll pick a movie trilogy that you do like. But hey, thank you all of our listeners out there. If you guys want to interact with the show or send us feedback or things you want to see on the show or see more of on the show, you can hit us up on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod, or you can email us at velocitychaospodcast@gmail.com. We will respond to you thusly. It's been great having you here. We appreciate you out there on the airwaves. We appreciate you out there on the pixels on YouTubes. Luke and I really are grateful. We hope to see you soon and hear from you sooner. Talk to you later. This is Nick signing off.
And this is Luke signing off. Yes, we want to thank everyone that has been messaging us and sending us feedback and giving us suggestions for topics to talk about. It's been great. You know, we're just doing this because it's fun. We get to hang out with the boys. You know, today's for the boys when we do this, and we're glad you guys get a little peek in on our thought process and lives and just having fun. So we'll see you on the next one if this was your last one, because it was another Lord of the Rings one. Maybe this is our last one because we did that last time, 27 episodes and ended on Lord of the Rings. Maybe it's the Lord of the Rings curse. I don't know. Sorry if it is. No. Like we always say, when you're out there in the wilderness and it's you and Peppy, keep on walking, because, you know, you got some sheep on the roof as well. And, you know, there's things in life that have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the Velocity Chaos Podcast. We upload new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Interact with us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod or on Facebook and YouTube at Velocity Chaos Podcast. We are grateful for your time and hope you enjoyed it here. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.